What are the violations of the rights of minorities which are taking place in India, and why Indian government is silent on it?
This is first time that world has taken notice of situation of minorities in India. Muslim world was also silent because of the economic strength of the India. They are crossing the limits.
Indians, particularly extremist Hindus.
Extremist Hindus, they are crossing the limits. And they are not allowing non-Hindus to live in a secular India.
Dr. Zia-ul-Haq sir, if there is any minor violation related to the rights of the Christians in Pakistan, anyone is persecuted, arrested, or any place of worship is attacked, there's a hue and cry across the world. But in Manipur, hundreds of Christians were slaughtered, their places of worship were destroyed, yet there was no concern by the Europe and United States.
Activists, either they are foreigners or their handlers are foreigners. They are targeting non-Muslim communities in Pakistan just to blame Pakistan.
So it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
What action international community can then take against India? So will there be any serious move against India? Economic and trade ties by the West could be reviewed. Or what will happen? What is?
I don't think that West will take any serious action against India. You know, the Indian lobbies in the
are
West,
very strong.
Very strong.
Our international audience is very keen to know what is this message of Pakistan with a particular title, Paigham-e-Pakistan.
Paigham-e-Pakistan.
That was initiated by you, and alhamdulillah, it worked very well.
This is Paigham-e-Pakistan. Paigham-e-Pakistan is the state narrative of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. It was launched by the President of Pakistan in 2018. It discussed the problems that we are facing, the challenges that we have,
and the solutions?
Solutions.
Way forward is there always.
Paigham-e-Pakistan is the futuristic vision for the movement towards the future of Pakistan.
Your message under the flag of Paigham-e-Pakistan.
अंधेरे में भी मंजिल पर पहुंच सकते हैं, मगर जुगनू को रास्ता तो याद होना चाहिए.
वाह, बहुत खूबसूरत. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and very good evening to Program Insight in Videos English. Recently, there was an important development. 400 Christian leaders across United States of America have written a letter to the U.S. Department of State, urging U.S. Department of State to declare India as a country of particular concern for its human rights violations as far as minorities are concerned. The letter stated that there have been grave violations of the rights of minorities in India, including Christians, Muslims, and several other. Because the letter was written by 400 Christian leaders, so focus was on the rights violations of the Christians across India. In the letter, the U.S. State Department was urged to take cognizant and steps that may put India into pressure so that India may take sufficient measures to protect the rights of the minorities, particularly Christians. To discuss this and other incidents related to Islamophobia in the United Kingdom, in Europe and elsewhere, today we are joined by renowned Muslim Islamic scholar and senior analyst, Director General of Islamic Research Institute, Dr. Zia-ul-Haq sir. Dr. Zia-ul-Haq sir, very warm welcome to Program Insight. We'll start our conversation on this particular letter written by more than 400 Christian leaders from United States, urging the State Department to declare India as a country of a specific concern as far as minorities' rights violations are concerned. Share with our audience that what are the violations of the rights of minorities which are taking place in India, and why Indian government is silent on it.
Thank you very much for holding this talk on very important issue. This is first time that world has taken notice of situation of minorities in India. India was doing it for last many decades, particularly under the present government. This is
BJP.
BJP. BJP is believing on Hindutva. And Hindutva, what is Hindutva? Hindutva is the ideology of extremely rigid and non-flexible civilizational self-perception. That self-perception is believing on the classification of the human beings. They are classifying Hindus into 4 categories. And non-Hindus, they are considered out of these 4 classifications.
Please explain 4 classifications.
Vish, Kshatri, Shudra is the lowest, and Brahman is the highest category. So Dalits, they are lowest even from the Shudras. And non-Hindus are considered lowest from all these Hindu classes.
And
so
non-Hindus could be Muslims, Christians, Sikhs,
could be
anyone.
Usually, because the second largest community in India is Muslims. So usually they were exercising their prejudice against the Muslims. And the world was not taking it serious. Muslim world was also silent because of the economic strength of the India and because of the strategic importance of the India. The world community was silent.
Economy was more important than religion.
But now the problem is that now they are crossing the limits.
Indians, particularly extremist Hindus.
Extremist Hindus, they are crossing the limits. And they are not allowing non-Hindus to live in a secular India. India is no more a secular country. It is written in their constitution. But practically, India is turning towards exclusivist Hindu state with extremely rigid and non-flexible civilization. So they are practicing this against the Muslims, they are practicing this against the lower caste Hindus, Dalit particularly, and against the Christians and other non-Hindu communities. Because now they are addressing, they are attacking even Christians in some areas of the world, of the India. So the world has taken serious notice of it, and they are declaring India a country of special concern. Once until 90s.
It is urged basically, it is not declared yet.
Yeah,
they are urging.
They are urging that it should be declared.
Exactly.
And
you also strongly believe that India should be declared.
I think India will be declared if there will be no other considerations other than human rights. Then India will be declared, because there are a lot of evidences and very strong evidences that there's strong violations of human rights in various areas of India, particularly in Kashmir and in several other areas of India. In 90s, Pakistan was very strong, and Pakistan was guarding the rights of non-Hindus in India, particularly Muslims. Now we are facing our own challenges. Internal problems.
Political events.
So
things.
we and another problem, we are also facing a type of extremism in our own society. But I think that this is a chance for us not only to highlight the violations of the human rights that are going on in India. Similarly, it is a chance for us to look into ourselves critically and improve our own behavior so that this type of allegations should not come against Pakistan.
Dr. Zia-ul-Haq, if there is any minor violation related to the rights of the Christians in Pakistan, anyone is persecuted, arrested, or any place of worship is attacked, there's a hue and cry across the world. But in Manipur, hundreds of Christians were slaughtered, their places of worship were destroyed. Yet there was no concern by the Europe and United States.
Actually, extremist groups, they're activists, either they are foreigners or their handlers are foreigners. They are targeting non-Muslim communities in Pakistan just to blame Pakistan.
So it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy, and sometimes extremists from our own society, they also mislead. Yeah, they are misled, and they also execute against
minorities particularly
against
Christians.
non-Muslims, Christians, Hindus. There are certain challenges for the non-Muslims in Pakistan too, but the situation is quite better than the situation in India, because the government of Pakistan, the constitution of Pakistan, and even Pakistani religious leadership, Muslim religious leadership, they are clearly standing with the non-Muslim communities and indicating that the non-Muslims living in Pakistan, they have the same rights that are the rights of the Muslims. And that has been clearly declared by the Muslim religious leadership in national narrative Paigham-e-Pakistan. In that narrative, Muslim leadership has clearly mentioned that Pakistan is a country of Muslims and non-Muslims. Non-Muslims are citizens of Pakistan on equal grounds.
True.
And these non-Muslims, they have the right to worship, to enjoy with the life, to celebrate their own festives.
True.
In accordance with the teachings of their own religion. So there's no problem and there's no challenge for the non-Muslims theologically, legally. However, attitude problems among various segments of the society are existing, and we need to work for behavioral change, because without behavioral change, it will be very difficult for us to cope the extremist tendencies that are prevailing in our society.
Very nicely explained. Tell our viewers that if India is declared a country of specific or a serious concern as far as rights of the minorities are concerned, and these rights are violated, what action international community can then take against India? So will there be any serious move against India? Economic and trade ties by the West could be reviewed? Or what will happen? What is...
I don't think that West will take any serious action against India. You know, the Indian lobbies in the
are
West,
very strong.
Very strong. They are part of
the mainstream
Western
politics.
mainstream politics. So they are very strong. They are well educated. They are connected. They have stability in India. That stability is reflected in international relations.
True.
So I think here we need to learn from the Indian experience. Indian diaspora, they are also divided politically. But when there is an issue of national interest of India, they are united. Pakistani diaspora is also very strong.
But they are also divided.
They are divided, unfortunately, and they remain divided, even if there is an issue of national concern. So I think the Pakistani diaspora needed to be united. When they will be united, particularly in the United States and Canada, they're well educated, they're well connected, and they are well placed in different
Unity
positions.
is the need of the hour.
Yeah. So they needed to be united. Unfortunately, some vloggers and other people who
social media
activists who are creating division among the Pakistani society here in Pakistan, they are famous there, and they are also contributing in dividing the Pakistani diaspora. And the division of Pakistani diaspora is resulted into non-protection of the interests of Pakistan. So I think the Pakistani diaspora, they are well educated. They needed to understand that they should not be influenced from the phobias, particularly political phobias, and influence from different political segments of the society. Instead of that, they needed to focus on their positive contribution in the societies in which they are living and in the interest of the Pakistan.
Dr. Zia-ul-Haq sir, recently we have witnessed, although the tension is still on peak and on rise in United Kingdom, far-right elements' actions against Muslims. There have been incidents of knife attacking in different parts of United Kingdom, and then hate speech, and then unfortunately we have also seen the mainstream newspapers in London carried front page pictures, caricatures and other things, which clearly reflects hate speech against particularly Muslims and Muslim immigrants. Why in a society which is so educated, which is developed, how this trend developed and how it could be countered then?
Actually, the trends that we are observing in United States are indicating the power of the phobia. The phobias multiply by the social media platforms.
Which is so dangerous.
Yeah,
and powerful.
it is so dangerous. What has triggered, the issues were existing there, but these issues were under the carpet. 2-3 false news were projected
and
disseminated, and people, they got a chance to express. They reacted against the Browns, particularly against the Pakistanis. They reacted very strongly, and their reaction is indicating that there are certain elements in the West which are trying to implement the idea of the clash of civilization. These Pakistanis who were attacked and whose property was attacked,
burned, destroyed and burned.
This is not their first generation. They are the third generation of the immigrants. They are completely integrated into the
British
Western society, in the British society. But their integration has not been accepted.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah, this is
that over the
unfortunate.
last 40 years living, and they have not been accepted.
They have not been accepted, and I have seen many people, they are saying it would have been better if we have not to migrated UK. So it is a great concern because UK is claiming that they are holding the flag of the civilization. They are a civilized nation.
And there are laws as well.
There are laws as well. So if they are the civilized people, then what is this that is happening there? Yeah, this type of situation is not acceptable in any country. And I think it is the indication of the clash of civilization that some experts and some opinion makers, they are believing in the West. They are afraid from the performance of the immigrants. And I think the immigrants are more welcomed in the United States than the immigrants in the Europe. And this is the reason that we find a different type of Islamophobia, Muslim phobias in France, in UK,
in Netherlands, in
Netherlands, in many other countries.
Sweden.
In Sweden. So even these countries, Sweden, Denmark, generally these countries are considered very calm, quiet and peaceful countries, but they have this type of the problems. So I think these problems are very serious, and the European communities, they have to look into it. Otherwise, their flagship claim that they are the civilized nation, it will be destroyed by these extremist groups. Extremism, actually the tension everywhere in the world is tension not between the common people of one country with the common people of another country. It is a tension between the extremist people and extremist element on all sides. They are exaggerating the situation to get the benefit. So I think the world community has to work to advance the idea of the alliance of civilization instead of the idea of clash of civilization.
You have beautifully explained that on one hand, we see there is a rising foreign investment in India, and on the other hand, there is rising human rights violation, women rights violation, and many things which are taking place in India. And yet India is considered as a global marketplace, IT hub, telemedicine hub, business hub, and yet more things really. So what do you think, what international community should do vis-a-vis these violations which are visible. One, these are reported. Amnesty International in the past have reported situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir have been everywhere in the world, including United Nations Human Rights Council. There have been special reports by the UN Human Rights Council. What not? Muslims were prevented from offering even Eid prayers from their religious prayers in Srinagar and elsewhere. So despite these clear religious violations being committed, as you mentioned, extremist BJP, world is silent.
World will remain silent. World is looking after their economic interests. What we have to do is that, first of all, we have to make Pakistan strong, calm, quiet, and a stable, civilized country. We have to contest on all fronts radical tendencies, particularly the tendency of incitement to violence.
You have just mentioned rising extremism and intolerance.
I personally feel that terrorism is not a big deal. Pakistan is in my opinion, Pakistan is the only country which has the power
and the capability.
And Pakistan has already demonstrated that Pakistan can exclude terrorists from its territory. Pakistan has successfully sent them out. But they are coming again because they are getting support from the extremist ideologies elements that are prevailing in our society. So we have to protect our country from the extremist elements, and we have to work strongly for making Pakistan a civilized society.
Our international audience is very keen to know what is this message of Pakistan with a particular title, Paigham-e-Pakistan.
Paigham-e-Pakistan.
That was initiated by you, and alhamdulillah, it worked very well.
This is Paigham-e-Pakistan. Paigham-e-Pakistan is the state narrative of Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
State narrative?
Yeah, it's state narrative. It has been signed by 6,000 religious leaders, including Imam-e-Kaaba, Grand Mufti of Egypt, and Grand Muftis of many other countries. Paigham-e-Pakistan, it was launched by the President of Pakistan in 2018. It discussed the problems that we are facing, the challenges that we have,
and the solutions?
Solutions. Way forward is
there always.
Paigham-e-Pakistan is the futuristic vision for the movement towards the future of Pakistan.
Beautiful.
I'm always saying, and I'm insisting on it, let's work that our 60% youth population should be used for construction. If we will not use them for construction, they might be used for destruction.
So who will take this initiative?
I think this initiative has to be taken by everyone. It has to be started from the home, then school, college, university, community level, government level, everywhere in the worship places. This has to be the right task that we should give 3 things to our youth in the all type
school,
of
colleges, and
religious institutions.
And religious institutions.
Yeah, all type of educational institutions, religious, non-religious, liberal, secular, art, everything. 3 things we have to provide. Number one, attitude, behavior.
One of the most important things related to the character. Exactly.
It is the seerah. How a person has to develop his conduct. Recently we have received information that many Pakistani are deported from the Middle East because of their bad characters.
My goodness.
It should not be accepted. And our educational institutions should focus on character building is not just to put the students in a particular shape. No, character building is the essence of our humanity that we have to inculcate among the youth. Second is skills. Pakistani labor was successful for decades in Middle East because of their skills. But now the skills have been changed.
They're going down now.
Now it is age of IT. Pakistani workers...
If they will not be equipped,
and there's no more acceptance for digital illiterate labor.
person.
We have labor, maybe they have some ordinary qualification, but they are unable to use digital tools. This is a problem, and the other problem is that the attitude problem is also there. Many Pakistanis, Alhamdulillah, in Pakistan, everyone is free to criticize government. Everyone is free. This became trend, that everyone is attacking on the government without realizing...
Taken for granted.
The criticism on the government is turning into a habit and a fashion. When they are traveling to other countries, they are doing the same.
They need to be very, very careful.
Yeah, and they cannot understand that there will be consequences. They are going to the market.
So they are facing that, and we are short of time. 14th of August, Independence Day of Pakistan. Your message under the flag of Paigham-e-Pakistan.
My message under the flag of Paigham-e-Pakistan is that अंधेरे में भी मंजिल पर पहुंच सकते हैं, मगर जुगनू को रास्ता तो याद होना चाहिए.
वाह, बहुत खूबसूरत.
So we should keep our way forward, and we have to focus. I have a friend from Morocco. His expertise is studying downfall and rise of civilizations, nations, and countries. He's saying that Pakistan has all the potential of a superpower.
Becoming a superpower, rising.
There are 4 requirements to become a superpower. Number 1, population should be around about 200 million.
That is fulfilled by Pakistan, then youth, then...
And number 2, that there should be an agreed upon way of life constitution.
True. That is there?
That is there. And number 3 is the strong army. And number 4 is the natural resources.
That is, Pakistan is blessed with. Thank you so much.
Pakistan is blessed with these. We just need to concentrate that we have to... First, most important requirement of progress for the Pakistan is peace. Peace in our society, peace in our country, peace with ourselves.
That is also important.
Unfortunately, the extraordinary use of social media has destroyed us. Every person you can see on mobile phone, and no one is concentrating. We have to keep mobile phone away from our youth,
particularly.
And even we are affected. We are affected. So we have to concentrate on physical activities, on the skills, on the knowledge and education.
Thank you so much indeed, Dr. Zia-ul-Haq Sahab. And dear viewers, we have to focus on knowledge, on skills, on right paths, on positive thinking, peace within the country, and then within the region, and peace in our thoughts as well. Beautiful things narrated by Dr. Zia-ul-Haq Sahab, who is not only Director General of Institute of Islamic Research, but a very well-known Islamic scholar and philosopher. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Zia-ul-Haq Sahab, for sparing few moments and speaking to Program Insight in V News English. Dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Allah Hafiz from studios.